Good morning, everybody. This is Lorraine Ball.
And Jennifer Denny.
And this morning we have a return visitor who I have promised to properly introduce this morning because the last time she was here, I don't think I told anybody who she is. Um, this is Megan Brame, and Megan is a five-time award-winning entrepreneur. She's an author and an advanced digital marketing strategist, and she helps entrepreneurs develop value-based marketing initiatives that create ride or die customers for life. And she's also the host of a podcast with my favorite name, Stop Sucking at Business. Megan, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, we're so excited. And I think part of it is because you're a little bit of a rule breaker.
We like rule breakers.
I honestly think it's just because of my inability to understand rules. And so I just have to go my own way,
Yeah, rules were meant to be broken.
And so you really have kind of gone your own way, leaving behind some of the more traditional social platforms. And today we want to talk about one of the ones that you really like as an alternative to Facebook and Instagram, which is Pinterest.
Yes, absolutely. And just to let your audience know, we had talked about doing Pinterest months ago, the three of us, and the fact that we're going to talk about it today with what's been happening very recently is really serendipitous. Like last week, something happened. And then last night, I got an amazing statistic that I want to share with everybody that it's related to it. So all of Twitter. I'm so excited.
Tell us about it. So what happened?
So if you haven't been on Pinterest or you haven't been thinking about it, Jen, then
that's me, guys. So I'm not a Pinterest person.
Last week, they announced the launch of Pinterest TV. And what Pinterest TV is, I'm going to quote directly from them, a series of live, original, and shoppable episodes featuring creators right on Pinterest. Pinterest TV episodes are refreshed every weekday and will be recorded and available for pinners to view on demand, save, and rewatch later. Now, go.
Okay, so I know I've been experimenting with video on Pinterest, and I've been limited to 10 minutes. Absolutely hardcore. You can't pin anything longer than 10 minutes. So is Pinterest TV going to be longer episodes for me to pin, or do you have to be a special kind of creator?
I think that right now they're doing a beta launch for their top creators, but they're slowly rolling it out to everyone. I don't see anything yet about what the length requirements are going to be, both, floor and ceiling. So I think they're just kind of seeing how it goes. But the thing that got me so excited about this is I got a case study last night somebody sent me, and I want to make sure I get this statistic right. Have you ever heard of the website Taobao?
No.
It's a Chinese website. It's giant equivalent of Amazon. It's even bigger than Amazon. And they have it's terrifying and amazing at the same time that there's that many products on there. But they have a live streaming shoppable system in their own website, like their own ecosystem. Two Chinese teenagers spent 12 hours just talking to each other through live stream, talking about products, and made $3.2 billion in affiliate income.
Oh my God.
What am I doing? I need to completely change.
I can talk for 12 hours.
Let's talk jewelry for 12 hours or notepads, bullet journals, whatever. Let's talk about it for 12 hours and make $3.2 billion.
Yeah, this reminds me of the Home Shopping Network.
That's
exactly what it reminds me of. Like, I'm like, okay, but this is in a virtual world. And then when I see the words like on demand, save and watch later, like my creative juices are like, that could be interesting. Like watch it later rather than live.
Right. And the less pressure for you as the creator, but also I love the idea of thinking about it in terms of a story. So having like an episodic thing that has, the 3.2 billion, I would assume is affiliate income. So I know that that's not the niche of your audience exactly. But if you think about it in a perspective of one, having your affiliates start using this, and two, using it as a product launch platform in an episodic way, it's just so much more interesting than, not these aren't interesting, but the 3-story email systems, the product launch formula of just taking that into a video and having it on demand or live and just having I'm just so thrilled that this is coming out there in Pinterest, which, is a social media platform in a way, but it's more of a search engine, and they're just doing some really exciting things for creators. So I was so thrilled to get that email and then to know that, like, we're going to talk about Pinterest today.
It just puts the nail in the coffin for me. I mean, I was already there, but in a general sense that if you don't have a video strategy, every platform is moving towards a video story creator type telling. And so if you don't have that strategy, then you're possibly going to get left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have resisted. I mean, for years, I had resisted video. I liked audio. I did the podcast, and I'm slowly coming around because this is way more engaging. It's and it you can still be polished and you can still be professional. And I think that was part of my issue, was that a lot of the early video that was coming out was kind of cheesy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all figuring it out.
Yeah. But I think it's very authentic. But I just flipped over and looked at that article that you sent me. And of course, I'm a Project Runway geek, full confession. And there's Christian Siriano right there. And I follow him on Pinterest because I follow him on Instagram because I love his clothes, but they're all snapshots. And so now to kind of be able to see that in motion, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the idea also too of just bringing that personality into your sales pitches,
Yeah, my mind also goes to ads, of course.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, there's creators and, they're going to be creating these shows, but there's probably going to be ads in between episodes and in between channels. And so again, video mindset, yeah.
It kind of comes full circle. I mean, I am old enough to remember black and white television with commercials. And then there was color TV, and then suddenly there was cable, and you could watch TV without commercials. But you paid a fee for that. And as we've moved to social media, it's sort of the same thing all over again. You can stream, but there are commercials before, after, or higher prices. So I think
what's old is new again.
But can we talk a little bit about Pinterest for the average person? Because at this point, I'm not guessing that a lot of our audience is going to be in that creator category right away.
Who needs a Pinterest account?
Oh, they're fun.
Jennifer needs a Pinterest account. So I want people to think about Pinterest not as another social media platform that needs to be filled with content, because the way their algorithm works is different than Instagram, Facebook with, your standard news feed. Pinterest works in such a way that, yes, they will pick up more content for people that post consistently, that people that have, their pins optimized with SEO and stuff like that. But people don't go to Pinterest to follow their favorite creators or their favorite people. They go there for answers. And that's a sweet spot for people who either get overwhelmed with Instagram, Facebook, have ethical issues with them, or just like want some kind of outlet for reaching an audience without having to do the same old. Pinterest, to be fair, they're trying to find their footing a little bit. Like, they're releasing story pins, which is something they're keeping on platform. Normally your pin will link to something and take you off the platform, but story pins don't seem to do that yet. And I think that they're getting a lot of pushback about that. So I'm hoping that'll change. But
well, you can't advertise a story pin yet.
Is that true?
You can't, yeah, because I use story pins a lot. And they really are just there. You're there for the experience. And I'm still trying to figure that out.
I think they're trying to figure it out too. I think this is still, if they were being totally honest, this is still a beta thing that they're not really sure what they're doing with yet. But I think they're looking at data and seeing first how can they monetize it, and then how can it be leveraged.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a good idea. It seems backwards. I'm listening to you on these stories where keeping people on, everybody's kind of yelling at Instagram like, hey, we need links. And so that seems a little backwards to me.
Yeah. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I'm interested in it in the idea of episodic content, in the terms of just, even if you're just swiping for the same thing and getting like step 1, step 2, step 3, or tip 1, tip 2, tip 3, all in the same story. But I'm not sure how well it's going to eventually just fuse with the whole platform.
Yeah, I think the idea pins are really good, and I'm still figuring it out, but I think they're good to help you grow your followers. I think you put great stuff on the story so somebody sees it, follows you, and then they see your other content that has links.
Yeah.
And I think that's
eye candy.
eye candy. I mean, you can do video, you can do
GIFs
like in GIFs and things like that, and you can do like the swipe story build kind of thing. So it's cool. The other thing though is you can't automate, or I haven't found a way to automate pins. I can automate regular pins. Stories, I can't automate stories.
Yeah, Tailwind's trying to work on it, but I think that's still being kept behind a wall right now. Just another thing to think about with Pinterest is that so much of your time on social media is spent having to engage with people, which is not a bad thing, right? It's not like you're not the Wizard of Oz. You can come out from behind the curtain and talk to people. But it's not a requirement on Pinterest. You're not docked. And I learned about this actually from someone from Pinterest, or from Tailwind, who came on my show. She told me that, you think about like, oh, well, I got to go spend time pinning other people's content, stuff like that. Pinterest have stopped caring about that. All they want is consistent content on platform. If you're going to pin stuff too, that's better for your audience in terms of like a holistic content strategy, but they're not going to dock you if you're only pinning your stuff now, which thank you so much for that.
Wow. I see, and I still treated Pinterest a little bit like other social medias, where in my mind social media is all about ego. You pin stuff because you want to be noticed. And so I was deliberately going out and pinning other people's stuff, relevant, related, but in the hopes that they would notice me and go, oh, she pinned my stuff, I should pin hers. But you know what? I'm noticing that doesn't really work.
I never look at my notifications on Pinterest. I'll be totally honest. I never do. I love it. There's like the little message box, and if somebody has messaged me or written a comment, then yeah, I'll reply to that. But I have no idea who's repinning my stuff, and I'm sure that no one knows that I'm repinning their stuff either. And I accept that. That's fine. We don't have to pretend we're best friends or something. I love your pin. It's a great idea. I'm gonna pin it, but that can be the end of the transaction. That's fine. I think Pinterest is very good for introverts and people with a lot of anxiety that like, I don't know what this, I don't want a relationship here. I just want to know how to set my printer up or something like that. You know what I mean?
Awesome. That makes a lot of sense with some people that I know that are very obsessed with Pinterest. They are introverts, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense now.
Well, ladies, we could go on forever, but I think we should put a little bit of a pin in it just to have a pun. I want to encourage everybody. Thank you. Everybody check out Megan. You won't find her here on Facebook, but you will find her on Pinterest.
Stop sucking at business on Pinterest.
Stop sucking at business. All right. Bye now.
Bye.